Hello everyone, this is MaffumanCasting of the StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 ship buddy action game starring Snow. Snow comes in with the BC. We got Mr. Universe as well. Snow looks like he went for some speed, yeah, and range for his one-shot. One farming, not quite one-shotting. We got Mr. Universe, a little bit of same idea speed, maybe a little bit of something else. We got Agamemnus as well as Arestio. Come on in, both his Void Rays. Now, Void Rays are great, but, you know, two of them does decrease how much health you have. Ooh, uh-oh. And a carrier from Lang, back there. And Avatar. Lang looks like he's got those interceptors as well. Gainer's going to come on in. He's going to say, hey, I'm a Plague and Overlord right here. Let's see if we can get, like, something kind of cool. If you can get a Plague off on a Void Ray, that's awesome. Looks like Cobalt's over there as well. Cobalt is the 5 interceptors upgrades right there on his carrier. Frigate from Bad Decision. Bad Decision's got those missiles. He wants to shoot them at Agamemnus. Agamemnus is like staying right there. Okay, you gotta move, buddy. Because he's actually sandwiched in between Wharf if he wants to move in. And Bad Decision's definitely gonna lay some punishment on him for being a little behind enemy lines right there. Uh-oh, Gainer, no. He has the Plague ability, but didn't quite Plague just yet. Will he really? He will. Mr. Universe is gonna have to move on back out of there. Lightburner as well has that Plague. Every Overlord basically gets a Plague at some point in their future. They both have it right now. Looks like Avatar does not have EMP, so he can't actually do anything about the overlording plaguers right there, or the plaguing overlords, however you want to say it. We got Optic Seagull with so many things. If you ever lose this ship, you can press a button up there and find it again. He just went for armor, and armor's fine, I guess. As a Dreadnought, that's what you're gonna want. What you want to do? Plague, boom, boom, boom. Only on one, but Mr. Universe is definitely going to have to get on back out of there. Boom, Plague, Agamemnus, the Void Ray being plagued. Actually, going to basically go into the red. Actually, if he stays there pretty long, he could get out in the first like couple seconds of the game, and that's not over exaggeration because Avatar is focusing on Mr. Universe. Agamemnus has some move on either. He's getting plagued right now. We'll see how far the plague is going to push him down into the red. He is definitely burning. He's just out of play right now. 14,000 life or 1,400 life. Mr. Universe does get on out of there. Any extra interceptors could possibly have done it in the very beginning of the game. Boom, beautiful Plague again. Void Rays, yeah, Blink is a little bit late right there, buddy. Void Rays are super susceptible to how much damage they can take because they have very little hull health, and the Plague goes right through shields. So not only are they not tanks, they're especially not tanky when you take away the limited shield that they actually have. Looks like, again, Gainer and Lightburner went for Plagues in the very beginning, and Avatar didn't go for EMP, which is fine. It's just okay. It's just, it does let you farm, right? You have the speed, you have the farm, you have the ability. It's just a question that you can't EMP and you can't drain energy. So against two Plaguing Overlords, that actually has a, you know, especially, it impacts you a little bit more as a team. Not that you know that though. This is sort of like Heroes of the Storm that gives you like the quick fighting because you don't know what the other team has. Heck, you don't even know what your team has usually because you don't see what the menu selection is. There's no like hero attack. You see what your team at least has. You know what the map's going to be like. With this, you basically, unless you're in a pub game, or if you're in a pub game, you won't know. Unless you're in a tournament game and you've already pre-planned your strategy, you are just kind of guessing what's out there in the dark. So EMP basically is great. You don't have to get it. It does help when you have Overlords. That rant over. Blink, good idea. Blink's a great idea. When you see the Plague coming at you, you can blink. There's a little bit of a timing thing, you know, but it can help in most situations. So really, what the question is will there be enough money on this map for the both of us? Void Rays, right, there's two of them, and Lang, if he ever gets up there with his 1.51 speed, and oh my gosh, we're not going to talk about the Tempests right now. What I'm trying to say is, he needs money. He needs money for Interceptors, he needs money for Tempests, and he needs, you know, to also compete with how much money the Void Rays need. Now, everybody else needs money as well, right? You don't want to starve everybody else out. But there's only so much money on the map in the form of these little boys who need to be shot. There's only so many of them that are going to be on the field at any given point. If the Void Rays are hungry hippos, and the carriers are hungry hippo, and the BCs are still, you know, not trying to be broke, everybody's going to be competing for limited resources. So that money up there basically is tied, right? 1,000 to 1,000 is about a tie anyway. But even if they had a lot more, they proportionally need more to survive. Dreadnought, great unit, good tank. Doesn't need very much because his abilities, which he doesn't have right now, aren't very expensive. You could argue that overlords are a little hungry little boys as well, but you know, it's a question. We got Arestio. Arestio is back up there. He's farming. He's got the blink. He feels confident. And really, what he is he's just saying, I need the money in the. I'm not gonna say late game. In the later on in the game, you're really gonna pay off some dividends. But in the very beginning, you're broke. You need money to get close. Agamemnus is gonna take a bunch of damage because he got a little bit close to those tempests that were just house spawned. Gonna get plagued as well. We got Mr. Universe, Bloom, Plague. Oh, okay. Didn't quite get the Void Ray as well. But again, every time that these overlords who have about 400 and 475 compress that I want to call it the P button, but it's actually not. What is it? It's G key. That G key. They're going to basically plague somebody. That plague is going to burn through. It would be a great idea. Actually, Mr. Universe has the right idea. He has Biosteel. When he's not hurt, he's going to be able to heal. He may or may not have the fire suppression system, which is a great idea to make yourself more tanky because you know you're going to get plagued. And actually, the only person who can drain energy right now, right there, is Abathur. He used his extra money. You see, because he went for an ability, because he did not go for an ability right in the very beginning, he had money for an ability plus some other base upgrades. His range is fantastic. That's great against interceptors. It's good against farming. It's not quite one-shotting, but he's keeping pace because he was able to. He was able to farm more effectively. You can always kill ships. It's just how quickly you kill ships. So 1-2 shots. Mr. Universe is going to try to maybe farm a little bit with his TAC fighters. TAC fighters are not as effective as interceptors. They're just not. But looks like Bad Decisions is going to push on out. Look at him. He's got 4 Wraiths. So hey, Wraiths can be upgraded to Cloak. Let's see if they have that. That's super cute. Oh, they do. I think they do. I'm just really squinting my eyes right here, but I believe they do have Cloak. Cloaks helps them not be seen until they're shoot. Ooh, EMP. It's not even an ability that you have to like really manage afterwards. They cloak automatically, uncloak automatically, and that really helps to also get them, you know, in the ability to kill the early tempests and have them not be shot on the way to do that mission. And it looks like the Red Sad's getting on out of there. They really have to get on out of there very quickly. The Void Rays are great, but they also are not that great against when people are attacking. They're offensive units, not defensive units. Mostly because the Prismatic Beam has to be facing the enemy and can only go at 8 range. Whereas the BCs can shoot in any direction. Yamato Cannon, kabam. Still in the shields, but pushed him away a little bit. Pushed him away a little bit to say, you know, hey, I know you're back at base, but stay back at base. Now let's see how much money the Blue Scots are going to wrap up right now. Right now they are in the position. This is really where you want to be. Optic Seagull, that's fantastic. He only has 6 range, but so he really wants to be in this area to kill the farm ships in the little Goldilocks zone. And it looks like they have about 1600. So again, it looks even, but they have less hungry ships right there. Carrier, yeah, is going to eat up a bunch of that. 2 Overlords, I guess. But Void Rays really do just need a lot of money to get, you know, their beam up and also survive. That's a good idea. He has Chrono Rift. Chrono Rift is going to be fantastic against interceptors. These interceptors are at 15 because he did not go for early Tempest. He has 11 interceptors, and you know, it's a little bit of a difference right there. 34 damage from each interceptor, 42 damage on each interceptor. 70, and these ints are 62. So, because as you upgrade it, the interceptors get more heavy in damage and also tankier because they're, you know, more health delicious. Snow moving in. Snow's got that lockdown. Now, lockdown's a great ability that won't work against overlords. It will really help against, you know, Optic Seagull. You can't press that protective field button because you're going to get your energy drained. Wolf has Yamato. You can't use that if you ain't got energy. So, it's a good ability. Does come at the cost of missiles, but looks like Mr. Universe decided to go for missiles instead because he didn't go for the abilities. That's, you know, a good balance. You know, maybe some little communication was happening right there. Optic Seagull, he is trying to press his protected field button. It only costs 50 energy, so it's a really low energy ability. It doesn't cost very much to use, but you're always going to have to contend with the EMPs and the lockdowns, so he does have to pump it up to 325 just to kind of like press the button occasionally. We got these interceptors at 17 now. 17 interceptors are definitely going to lay some pain on people. Looks like Agamemnus has the cloak. Agamemnus is going to cloak and try to take down Optic Seagull. He's going to do a whole bunch of damage as well. Now, Cobalt, we can't really do much about him. He doesn't... Oh, we can't Vortex because he got EMP drained, and Optic Seagull is going to have to move on back. He was able to be saved, mostly just by being close. Gainer made a good come on in with there's a Plague and a Side Blast thing coming for you. EMP, bad decision. Avatar using that EMP button. Shooting the EMP a little bit in front of that decision so he flies into it. Snow taking a bunch of damage. Snow's gonna move and launch a nuke, a defensive nuke against Worf. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Boom! Okay, so it did work, but the beach ball of sadness right there did slow down the nuke just very slightly. Worf taking a whole bunch of damage, though still. Agamemnus is relying on that cloak. Cloak's great ability just cost energy and only have 450. Now only 450. You do start at 225 and it costs a whole bunch of money to upgrade, but it just every time you do it, it costs more money. So we got us Snow coming back 605 after 479, 157 from Agamemnus. We got Lang 556, Mr. Universe 556 as well. That's convenient, and 270 from Ariesco. Agamemnus looks like he spent his money. Okay, extra energy on cloak. 20 cost to use, and then only drains 10 per second because I believe he did upgrade that. And what Cloak is going to help him do is get in close and take down these squishy, tasty, delicious, possibly caramel-filled Overlords. I'm not sure, not verified, have not tried it. Boom, Plague. Because Overlords, although they can do a great amount of damage, have some cool abilities, they are inherently squishy and fun candy. That's where the entire blue side has to move on back quickly. Because if these Void Rays can get Cloak, if they can, get close, do some damage with their beams, if they don't whiff Plagues, Lang, boom. He whiffed a Plague and got a Plague for it. Whiffed a Vortex, that's what they're called. Lightbringer takes his damage. And it looks like the blue side is definitely retreating very quickly. They could possibly have pushed this money up a little bit more, but it's always a question that you really don't want to be caught out of bounds. And it looks like Worf is going to launch that nuke. Or that Yamato cannon. He has Yamato cannon, 1825 damage. He upgraded it a whole bunch, and it looks like he's going to be taking out Snow with the nuke. The nuke was technically targeted against Worf, who is now dead, but Cobalt walked right into where the nuke is going to be. This gratuitous nuke. And it looks like that's going to be enough. Cobalt's going to move on back to base. He didn't take any hull damage, took shield damage, and did a walk of shame anyway. Bad decision, moving on in. He's got those afterburners. That's going to help him shoot a little bit quicker and quacker. And it looks like Avatar went for that PDD. PDD is a great ability against like a ship right now. A singular ship really is affected by it. Because PDD blocks missiles, and Gainer and Lightbringer ain't got no missiles, and I'm pretty sure, like 85% sure that the Dreadnought does not, the Gatling cannons are not stopped either. The lasers are stopped, I guess, but that's not as big. Looks like Lang's gonna move on back to base. Lang needs that energy. He has 531. Snow's gonna move on back. He's got a nuke again, on the cooldown. Not the biggest cooldown, like 60 more seconds after this. Agamemnus got that 295. Let's see what he spends it into. Mr. Universe, about 360 right now. Avatar taking extra damage. Beautiful. Contaminate's the greatest. It's neat though. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite ability, but it's like up there because it's underused. It slows down how quickly you can do damage. Slows down all enemy units in a targeted area. Area of effect, and reduces their attack speed by 50. Lasts for 20 seconds. So basically, you're just really not doing damage for a while. If you shoot it on this BC, for instance, he will not shoot missiles. You'll shoot them at 8 instead of 4. So really, you can just like stay alive by having them do less damage to you. Agamemnus is going to move around. Now, Void Rays are really about positioning and try to get close, use Cloak, burn down squishy units that are injured. It looks like Badis is going to take a whole bunch of damage. We got a Vortex, boom, saving him from Cobalt. Snow coming in. Snow's nuke is active and he's in a good position to really turn. He probably should use it against maybe Optic Seagull or somebody, or maybe going on back. He's just taking a whole bunch of damage right now. Nuke used against Optic Seagull at the right time where his ability is out. Oh no! The Vortex nuke combination backwards. The Vortex saved the nuke from doing damage. Looks like Agamemnus is in the detective field of that War Prism right there. And Gator's going to do as much damage as possible. He doesn't have very much energy left. It looks like he's going to have to move on back. And and Aristo is going to try to do some damage. Optic Seagull was almost nuked and then saved by the Vortex. We got Lang pushing out his Tempest. His Tempest are going to do some damage, but unfortunately Optic Seagull is in the position where he has his protective field and going to take out them Temps pretty quickly. And it looks like Bad Decision is going to fly around. Again, Aristo wants to get close, wants to do that stuff. We got Lightbringer, who was quite hurt earlier. Looks like Mr. Universe is going to move on back. He's really focusing on missiles. He has no abilities, which is not a bad strategy. The Overlords have a lot of abilities. Cobalt obviously is going for Tempest. I would always want to upgrade your laser batteries, but if you get close, and you're going to have to get close. Whenever anybody's at 9 range, they're taking 130 damage each missile times 9. Abathur all alone. Hopefully, maybe using like the EMP to drain a little bit more, but he only has a burst lasers at 3, and these Tempests have 10.5 armor, 82 health, 82 shields, and so 10.5 armor, 14. He's doing 4 damage every time that he shoots. That's a good save for the missile pods. Missile pods, I think, do damage in the area, including to your team members, but that's okay if it kills interceptors. Let's see. Abathur, hopefully using some of that 445 money to go into burst lasers. No, you're not going to be like a missile. You're not going to be an attack raven, but you really got to survive for a little bit. Little Sean Spotter. Sean Spotter is helping detect Agamemnus. Agamemnus is going to take a whole bunch of damage from almost everybody. Blinks out just in time. That Vortex is quite a threat right now. And it's really just a question of energy. He's getting his energy drained. He's being spotted. Overlords have a lot of counters for Void Rays. They're not like a rock, paper, scissors type thing, but they do have Sean Spider. They do have Plague, which affects an area. They do have Contaminate. They have, I believe, he may or may not have the extra antennas. But you know, all that stuff can really make a difference when your main focus is to have them not be cloaked. Cobalt moving back, 25 upgrades on his interceptors, 62 damage for anybody who's unsuspecting. And I don't even believe that the PD is going to help you all too much here. Oh, good shot. You see, you do want to drain some energy with your EMP. And by energy, I mostly mean shields. If you can drain that, then they have half health. Up to 125. So, I mean, if they ever get to the point where they have 125 shields as well as life, then, you know, it's doing something. We got Bad Decision being quite hurt right now. Bad Decision having to move on out of there. 1.92 speed is actually super quick. Void Rays do 1.96 right now, and it looks like he's going to push. He's not going to make it all the way back, though. And Agamemnus makes the decision to pull on out, which is probably a good one, because even if the frigate was finally into the hull damage, so many ships are around them. So many ships that could possibly see them with a Sean Spotter or vortex them or something like that. We got, and so, because Void Rays are very high damage, but they also take a lot of restraint. It's super fun to jump on in there, be the hero, and burn all the ships down, but you're super weak as far as health goes. Even though he upgraded his shields 6 times, he only has 10.5 armor. It's not that much per upgrade, but it's needed because look, he's doing it right there. Beautiful Beach Ball of Sadness. Beach Ball of Sadness is the best way of you know, stopping interceptors. It slows them down in an area, allowing you some time to shoot them should you so choose. And looks like Agamemnus is going to circle around. He's going to try to do as much damage to them as possible. Ooh, nice right there from Aristo. Vortex finally gets somebody. We got We got the frigate in the vortex. He was using his afterburners, obviously, but it's going to time on out of there. And that definitely it did stop their attack a lot because the frigate is their sustained damage dude. Sure, the gainer and lightburger combination of basically whatever button I press is going to do some stuff to you is good, but the finishing move is probably going to come from Backlash Rocket. Ariesto is going to move on in there. He wants to do so much damage. The Voiders are trading off who gets to shoot what Overlord, and it looks like they are going to do something, but it looks like they're going to have to move on back out of there as well. Agamemnus taking a whole bunch of damage. These Psyblast, let's see, 2390 or 1540. Basically so much damage that they just really have to move on out. They do have the observer thing, the spotter, and they do have mines as well. That's probably why they were really trying to focus on the frigate right there, because mines do a whole bunch of damage, and you can't see them. You can try to EMP them, but they're basically hidden for like ever. Look at that, 600 StarCraft seconds. That's quite a bunch. Snow taking a bunch of damage. Now, Snow has 10 range, and the Psyblast is at 11, Psyblast is at 11. So if he upgrades his range a little bit more, he can be basically trading 1 for 1. But essentially, you have to get close to do his damage. The cooldown of Psyblast is pretty quick, but it's 5, and his missiles cooldown at 4. So really, if you can stick to it, you can overpower an Overlord. But it's really a question of, are you going to? And what he's going to do right now is press that warp key and warp up to his buddy Agamemnus up there. That's kind of like the almost a kind of a warp trick. Not everybody's going to go up there, but we're going to see how many people they're going to do. Mr. Universe, come on in. He knows he's got those missiles. Great decision by bad decision to use his afterburners. Will it be enough? Agamemnus, as well as Ariesto, moving on in. Even with the Sean Spotter detecting all that he possibly can right now, will it be enough? They're going to fly over the mines. And the beautiful plague is on both of them, pox on both of their houses, mines doing whatever they can possibly, but there, boom, we got one of the frigates from out there, we got Lightbringer in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Mr. Universe takes them on out. The rest of the team is back here by Snow. Snow's going to launch his nuke, his Yamato cannon at Optic Seagull. It looks like Agamemnus is going to burn down a gator. He's going to try at least. Beautiful vortex on the BC, on the, of that side. Agamemnus is going to burn on down. Optic Seagull moving in. He's going to move on back. We got Abathur. He's going to have to try to shield Agamemnus just in enough time. We got, it was a 2-for-1 special. We got a Gainer moving on. If he can get one more Psyblast, he's going to possibly take him out. We got, Mr. Universe doing a whole bunch, but you have to move on out of there as well. Lang's Tempest providing that little bit of extra damage that makes the blue side want to retreat. Optic Seagull took a whole bunch of a beating right there. And, now it looks like it's moved down very quickly from basically what was a 6 versus 5 all game to a 6 versus 3. Optic Seagull, it looks like the warp jump split really worked out for their favor. And look, they had to take so much damage, though, that any extra shots could have taken them out. Any, Psyblast, that's basically going to take somebody out. Looks like Ariesto is in a good position to set up the next warp trick. Not by warp trick, I just mean like, hey, you should probably either get friends or get lost. Because the blue side's out for blood right now. And it looks like these Tempests are just 31. Beautiful. But Gainer's going to move on in there. He's going to launch his 270 damage on his Psyblast, and the Agamemnus is going to move on in. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible, but he is being detected right now. And will that be enough? And Optic Seagull is going to move on in. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible, but Agamemnus has to move on out. Gainer survives. Agamemnus has to move on in and retreat on out because the Interceptors have used so much beautiful plague by Gainer staying alive, really risking it right now because there's Void Rays and a Betrayal Vortex. But it looks like he was heavily injured. He was just trying to stay by the base. But with 2 Void Rays out, you really have to be careful with your health right there. Lang doing a whole bunch, and it looks like so it was not a Betrayal Vortex. What had happened was Lang saw that Mr. Universe was being shot and overwhelmed by these Tempests. These Tempests doing 74 damage and having a whole bunch of health. Any more in oh no. Oh no! Mr. Universe was taken out by Bad Decision, who is dead. Mr. Universe was the frigate who sent away these mines about 300 seconds ago, if you can remember that far in the past. And what Lang was doing was Lang was using Vortex to save his buddy, because those interceptors were doing so much that they had to rally the troops around him and make sure there weren't any more interceptors that warped in. But it just wasn't quite enough because of the lonely mine right there. Beautiful Vortex by Gainer. He's really doing everything he possibly can to hit the Void Rays. And the Void Rays can always press the blink button if it's not on cooldown. So doing abilities that are area of effect to something that can get out of the area that you want to affect easily is definitely it's definitely hard to do. Lang, Carrier, Knight in the right position, Psyblast just does so much, and I don't think. Oh, that was a pump fake. The Vortex is not back. Gainer has to move on back, and oh no, now this is the part where the interceptors are really coming in there, because Gainer used so much money and time and love into his abilities, he's got no energy blast, he's got no farm, no real interceptor defense. 1, he's squishy, 2, he's low armored, and 3, his mid-lists are fine-ish, but the energy blast is, again, it's just not enough. It's barely even tickling these guys. 71 damage and 102 whip on the Vortex. Mr. Optimus Eagle is going to take that as a sign to move on out of there. Agamemnus is going to use that as a sign to use his cloak and burn down Cobalt. Cobalt, his Vortex is being used and it, boom, gets him. The Gainer could have used that against Snow. Snow's going to move on out. Cobalt's going to be out of Vortex for a while. It looks like there's a little secret missile going to chase him on down. Depending on how much you upgrade secret missile, it's basically a guaranteed damage. 29 seconds, let's see if it keeps on going. Does Gainer go all the way back to base? No, he just decides to take it. Boom. There we go. Optics Eagle, moving out. Now he does have his 2 abilities. He is the tank, but he just has to get close. And because he spent money and hasn't really been able to really dominate too much in farm, he's armored, but he's not doing too much damage Gatling-wise. He had to be extra tanky because everybody else was extra squishy. The carriers and overlords of the world really can't be too tanky. And it looks like Optic Seagull is going to move on out. We got the blink and the cloak running away from Ariesto. 550 energy. Cloak, even though it's upgraded, is still going to always be a drain on your energy factor right there. 10 energy and 7.2. You can upgrade how much cloak costs once in use, making it cheaper per second. But it looks like the red side's gonna get back. They're gonna move on back. We got them 644, 226. Lang got that 1070. Whatever he wants to put money into, like at Tech Tempest, could be great. And 464. Looks like really it's just a question of like, can the blue side make a little money, get back, be safe. If they can play by their base back here, the Void Rays are a lot less effective. But by the red side's base, they are in the danger zone because Void Rays are all about picking off weak targets. When they see multiple right there, they do get scared off because counters. They have to cloak. I mean, look at this. He's been cloaked for a couple seconds to like get close to them. He's already half out of energy. So even though he upgraded it so it's 7.2, beautiful play. He has to rely on cloak to get close because everything does so much damage to them because they just never have that much health. A little bit of a whiff from Gainer. Contaminate is an area of effect again. If he did it, it would slow down how quick the beam is going, and that's a great way of staying alive as well. All of what what the blue side is trying to do is add time to their ability to retreat. Now, if they stay by base, these warp prisms are always going to shoot at 10 range and always going to be detectors. So cloak is not going to be as effective because you can see it. And Ariesto is going to take a whole bunch of damage. And he's going to burn on down. I mean, obviously he's going to maybe survive if even if he just slow walks it back to base. Another shot though would have taken him out. Against these towers, Void Rays do a little bit less. Vortex being used. Now that Vortex is being used, it looks like the red side is going to circle on in, except for Ariesto, who has to get on back to base. He could maybe have stayed around, but like when the Overlord, which you know is there, that one is basically less than one shot. So he was, even though he had some amount of life, it wasn't 2375. So he could take some damage. It's really easy to overestimate how much you can do damage, how quickly, and how much. And it's kind of easy to underestimate how much Side Blast does. It's a great way of doing damage. Beside these temples are going to be used. There's still a 3. They're kind of just there to do some damage. And that's actually not the worst decision, because once you see interceptors on the field, you know, you're going to have a bad time against it. Oh no, Cobalt tried to vortex everybody, but it's not going to be enough. He missed it by just a little bit. And looks like, ooh, beautiful blackout on Optic Seagull from Avather. And the Voidver's going to move on in. We got Snow coming on in. His nuke is now ready. He had the ability. It's just that he didn't have the energy until just now. Gator is going to take a whole bunch of damage. And it looks like this is going to be GG, I'm pretty sure. Even if he turns around. And boom, take him out. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure to send you guys his replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com. And if this guy doesn't, no, he stays alive. No, he's dead. Make sure you guys send your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com. Watch your games here. Press like, press subscribe. We're in StarCraft Star Battle all the time.